morning and welcome. Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason on a Hump Day Wednesday. And wow, what a difference a day makes. More earnings reports. Retail looking extremely weak. The service sectors. We had manufacturing, PMI, service PMI as well. Not good. Lows of the year. Gold and silver absolutely skyrocketing. We've been busy all morning long. Customers like, I missed the bottom. I don't know. Listen, 6 weeks ago, gold hit a bottom. 1880s. Silver hit a bottom. 22, let's call it 2250. But it's probably closer to 22 intraday. And then it rallied. Remember, I said, hey, bottoms are in, new higher highs. And then everybody started, inflation is getting hotter again, right? People started to panic. We double tested. And then last week, wasn't a lot of movement, but gold and silver kind of stabilized, even though the 10-year note kept rising. And then yesterday we had some good movement higher, and then today just an explosion higher. Gold's up 20, 19, 17. Silver, of course, this is how silver is. We know how silver is. Silver's that wild little brother. Well, wild little brother going wild right now, up 88 cents, $24.33 to the ounce right now, but I got the deal of a lifetime because this is dumb luck, really. I'll just tell you, dumb luck. We had 5 cases of silver walk through the door yesterday. That's a lot. It's a lot in any one day. So today we're going to offer you rolls of U.S. Silver Eagles. Now, go back. Yesterday, let's go back to last week, the bottom. A roll, if you wanted to buy a roll of Silver Eagles, they were $605. It's pretty much put us right at the cheapest around, at $605. Because most of the dealers out there were $640, $650. We're $605. We have, now we've been selling, like I said, we've been busy. We've got 90 rolls of U.S. Silver Eagles left. Here's the deal. This will be better than buying it at the bottom. Rolls 1 through 9, $585. You buy 10 rolls or more, $575. And Jason, I don't need to tell you, $585 is a ridiculous price. $570, you can afford 10 rolls or more at $575. You're essentially buying Silver Eagles right next to cost. I mean, just above cost. Right now, Silver Eagle cost-wise, just above that number. That's how great of a deal this is. You think about, go back a year ago, a premium on Silver Eagles was $10 to $12 over spot. Here you're talking about, even at $585, you're talking about $29.25. That's nothing. That's not even, $5 over. You get, if you buy 10 rolls or more, $28.75. And I would have to go back. This is definitely the lowest since COVID. So going back to 2020, and possibly even longer than that. That's how this is a huge opportunity. And I'll be honest with you. It's nothing we did. We've been around a long time. When you've been in business as long as we have, stuff like this will happen. It happened yesterday. Jason, everybody should be taking advantage of this. Silver, everybody knows how underpriced it is. Everybody knows that it's just a matter of, it's not if, it's when. When does silver take off? The supplies keep falling. Demand isn't going anywhere, especially with all the Green Deal stuff that's out there. You're talking about, hey, You probably missed the bottom. That's probably true. We don't know, but we're probably true. But guess what? Today, forget about it. We're going to let you buy lower than the bottom for one day only. Again, we've only got 90 rolls. We never, well, I shouldn't say never. We hardly ever start out the show pitching product, right? We just don't operate that way. It's too good of a deal. This thing shouldn't even make it a half hour. If you guys are sitting there saying, I'm waiting for the bottom, I want to make a move, here it is. This is your golden opportunity. Rolls of U.S. Silver Eagles, 1 through 9, 585, 10 or more, 575 at 800-951-0592. And Jason, this is one of those things, right? When the opportunity's there, the opportunity is there.
I didn't think we'd see a 5 on the front end of the price ever again. So, and depending on what happens, this might be like a one-day opportunity to buy Silver Eagles with a 5 in front of the price tag. It might be over 600 as of tomorrow. Maybe
a 20-minute opportunity, right? That's kind of what we're talking about, because when we look at what's the price going to be when we sell the 90 rolls, probably 620, 615, 620. And of course, as usual, that puts us below pretty much everybody as it is. So take advantage here, 800-951-0592. Think about the earnings we've got. Home Depot was bad. Right? Then we had news out of Dick's. Dick's was horrendous. Macy's was bad. Peloton today blowing up. Foot Locker down 30%. Kohl's, who had the easiest numbers in the world to beat, said, man, we're still bleeding money. Is it true? Was J.P. Morgan right last week? Is the consumer tapped out? We'll be back. $800-951-0592. You heard it. Silver Eagles. Forget about the upward. I mean, think about this. Silver's gained $2 an ounce in the last 3 or 4 days, 5 days, trading days anyway. But today and today only, this will literally be a one-shot deal here. Rolls of Silver Eagles. So you get 20 Silver Eagles in a roll. One roll through 9. One through 9. $585. Shop it around. You're not going to find it anywhere for that. 10 rolls or more. $575 at 800-951-0592. We had 5 cases yesterday. We're down to 3 cases and change and falling here. Quick look in at the markets. The Dow is up. But you're like, wait a minute, Joe, you said all the news is bad. Well, exactly. The Dow's up because the 10-year note is down, right? One of those bad news is good news on Wall Street. Now, it's not up a lot, but it's up 100 points, 120 points. The S&P's up 30. The NASDAQ's up almost 200. As we said, gold's up 20-plus here. 1917. Silver's now up 90 cents, $24.35. And again, if you're looking at, hey, how do I be diversified? Obviously, buying gold and silver is one great way, but you can't put all your money into any one thing. Check out our friends at YRefi, especially now. Think about the banks. What is it? Every week now for a month, we've either had the rating agencies downgrade America, come out, talk about downgrading China, downgrading Japan, downgrading Europe, right? Downgrading all government debt, essentially. And then we've had all 3 rating agencies, Fitch, Moody's, S&P, downgrading banks, telling us the whole banking sector needs to be downgraded. Matter of fact, they started talking about, hey, we're not talking about the banks nobody's heard of. We're not talking about the Bank of Kansas. Well, they were, but, that's not all they were talking about. We're not talking about just regional banks. They said we're talking about downgrading J.P. Morgan. We're talking about downgrading Bank of America. We're talking about downgrading Wells Fargo, downgrading Citi. We're talking about downgrading U.S. Bank. Right? We're talking about downgrading every bank. Well, maybe you need to be a lot more diversified than you thought. Check out our buddies over at Y for Refi. You can get up to 10.25% return. It's not correlated to the stock market. It doesn't care about the banking stocks. It doesn't care. It's fixed. What does that mean? That means it's the same thing every single month. You can turn your income on. You can turn it off. You can compound it. You can do whatever the heck you want. You know why I love them? Because they're like us. No fees. No fees. If you need your money back, you get your entire principal back, period. No questions asked, end of story. Invest, yrefi.com. That's the word invest, the letter Y, REFY.com. Or call them at 888-YREFI24. If you want these Silver Eagles, I know you want to listen to this show. Listen, the show gets podcasted. You can listen to it later. We've got one line open right now on these rolls of Silver Eagles, 1 through 9, 585, 10 or more, 575. We only had 90 rolls when the show started, so if you want to take advantage of it, I would do so as quickly as possible. As I said, the whole retail side of things is big week for retail outlet earnings. There were some bright spots. There was TJ Maxx. Really, and for TJ Maxx, Home Goods, right? They're the benefactor of Bed Bath & Beyond going out of business, I guess, right? You can chalk it up to that. But outside of that, really tough news. Even places like BJ Wholesales, they're the smaller version of Costco. Costco CEO, he was like, yeah, hey, big change. Still got a lot of shoppers. Don't get me wrong. Costco's not empty. Here's the difference, though. They're like, hey, yeah, they're not buying the expensive alcohol, right? They're not buying the brand name. They're loading up on the Kirkland vodka, right? They're not buying the expensive cuts of meat. They're loading up on hamburger, right? This is what they were saying. And then you had the disasters like Dick's, like Foot Locker, Macy's, the Peloton. Jason, it really is a universal statement. At least when we talk about retailers, business got soft really quickly, and for some places it got really, really soft. And that just tells you that the consumer's a little, when you think about Foot Locker, when you think about Dick's, right? Those are more luxury. Hey, I'm going to get a new pair of shoes. Well, you know what? I can get another month out of the ones I've got, right? I can get another 6 weeks out of the shoes that I have. Dick's, that's sports stuff, right? Hey, I can play a little less golf. I'm not gonna be buying golf balls today, right? I'm not. I can use the workout clothes that I've already got, right? Those are kind of what I would call tip of the spear type of those retailers, because that's something that people can. Hey, I can make do with what I've got. I don't necessarily need to buy another one, and that tells you that discretionary money is running low.
Yeah, we had a Costco move in, a lot closer to where I live than I've had one. So my wife and I, first time I got a membership to one of these places, Joe, and you're right, except for one thing, Costco is a little higher end than Sam's Club. So if we hear Costco starting to have bad sales, then the Sam's Club and the Walmart will be the last one standing, so to speak. When Target has sales dropping, that's everybody going to Walmart, because Walmart is the king of cheap. Sam's Club is the king of cheap when it comes to the warehouse thing. So Costco's, I guess, safe for now, because it's a great place to go get things in bulk. You can get things at Costco you can't get at Sam's Club, but pretty soon, the little bit better stuff I could get at Costco, and it is better stuff, that could become too expensive. When you're pinching pennies, Joe, and people are pinching pennies, every dollar counts.
Absolutely. The PMI indexes were out. Manufacturing PMI deeper into recession. They were expecting it. These are numbers were 50s like 0, 47. We're expecting 49. So that's actually pretty big miss. And then the service PMI, which has been really strong. Really strong. I mean, it was in the high 50s at the beginning of the year. Checked in here at 51. So just below or just above saying, hey, we're not doing so hot, right? Anything below 50 is things are bad. The composite also missed, but we are looking at lows, almost lows for the year on these gauges. And again, these are surveys. You gotta take it with what it is. But what they're saying, Jason, is what we're seeing here. Is this slowdown finally here? And you start thinking about all the big places like UPS, the airlines, all the big raises. UAW wants their big raises. I think things are going to get worse because things are going to continue to get more expensive. And now, great case in point, Dick's. They started layoffs, Jason. They started layoffs. This is something where are we starting to see finally here? We'll see. It's too early to tell. But it is one thing to have one or two retailers, hey, we're struggling a little bit. This was almost across the board. To Jason's point, hey, Walmart did okay. Sam's Club did okay. But even their CEOs were warning, hey, things are a little different here. Like the Walmart CEO, we're seeing richer clientele that normally don't shopping here. That tells you how good they are at tracking things, Jason. They know who everybody is.
Yeah, and Joe, I think you have a pretty hard job because when it comes to this show, I lean on Joe's research to really get us through the show, and he has to give you day-to-day facts as to why you should be buying gold and silver and what you need to keep your eye on. But when it really comes down to it, Joe, as time passes, the story gets lumped into one big thing. I watch I watch The Big Short regularly. I just feel like that's like required watching. And if you just watched it once, you really haven't watched it. It's a really good movie, and it talks about the '08 crash. I really believe, Joe, that we've been slowed down for a while now. We've talked about this. But I think this crash has been melted into the recipe from back in 2008. And I think, as I watched The Big Short, the criminality and the irresponsibility around that time frame, everything that led up to that crash, I don't think they wanted to go to a monetary reset back then, even if they could, Joe, because it just looked really corrupt. But I think when years from now, when we see what's getting ready to happen and what's happened before now, they got their big finger pointed at COVID, Joe. They're just going to say, well, see, stuff happened in 2020. It just got worse and worse. I mean, it was just like we're talking 2030, 2035, 5-10 years from now. When they start talking about what happened, they're just going to say, well, COVID messed us up. It's all COVID. That's what they're going to say. They might sprinkle in a few other things, Joe. But I really believe that this whole time frame is going to be considered the Great Depression of our generation or the super Great Recession. But nothing's been better since 2008, Joe. It's been abysmal ever since. It's all been smoke and mirrors and putting some time in between the criminality of '08 versus now. I mean, look, I was watching the movie yesterday. There's a part in the Big Short where they're talking directly to the ratings agencies about why they won't downgrade mortgages, right? Mortgage-backed securities. Right? Well, now, this time around, they're starting to get the ratings agencies are starting to downgrade because they don't want it to look criminal this time. They want to point at COVID, Joe.
I'm going to tell you right now, that's a great point about the rating agencies. It's not going to be like last time. They're out there saying trouble is coming, and these guys couldn't find their backside with both hands, if you know what I'm saying. So for them to be downgrading the banking sector, that tells you really what you need to know. We had existing home sales out yesterday, terrible number. New home sales was better today. They were out today, but then the home builder said, but mortgages got even higher. And the only reason we're offering lower mortgage rates, and it's costing us money, right? Because to get it to where people can move in, but The Mortgage Bankers Association came out with a note today. Get this. Application. Now, this is much more current than the numbers we've got on existing and new home sales, because existing home sales, those were contracts signed in May and June. Same thing with new home sales. These were contracts that were signed in May and June. We know things have gotten worse since then. The Mortgage Banker Association said today that applications for home purchases for mortgages dropped to their lowest levels since April of 1995. I don't know how that's possible. You're telling me less people are putting an application to buy a home than during the housing crash? Remember the housing crash? Nobody. Well, you know what? That's not true, right? Warren Buffett was trying to buy houses by the thousands, right? They were trying to get the cheap houses, but nobody is buying. They said, listen to what they said. Home buyers are withdrawing from the market due to an elevated rate environment and the erosion of purchasing power, which just simply says, hey, they're not in the market, Jason, because they can't afford to buy a home. Think about it. Here it is, America 2023, and the vast, vast majority of Americans can't afford to buy a home. That's what they've done. That's why you buy Silver Eagles. 800-951-0592. Jason and I, we're coming right back. $800-951-0592 is the cheapest silver in the world moniker came out there. Rolls of U.S. Silver Eagles, $585. You heard me right, $585. But wait, there's more. But wait, there's more. If you call now, if you buy 10 rolls or more, $575. Just to give you an update, we have these. You can come and pick them up today. Right?
Yep.
And so we have them in Colorado. We've got them here in Arizona. 1 through 9, $585. 10 or more, $575. Right now we're down to 53 rolls. So I'll be honest with you. I'm shocked we have that many. I thought we'd sell them all in the first 20 minutes here. We should. If you're new, all you new people, I know there's so many of you. It's so easy doing business. We're not like anybody else. You just call the number, 800-951-0592, and just tell the girls, hey, I want to buy the special. That's all you got to say. They're going to hit you with one really hard question. How many would you like? And you just tell them, I want 1 roll. I want 5 rolls. You know what? I want that cheap price. Give me 10 rolls. Heck, maybe you just want to buy what's left. How many got left? I'll take them. If you're local, right? We have the office here in the Deer Valley Air Park here in Phoenix. In Colorado, we've got 2 offices in Colorado. The Silver Eagles, though, they're at our office in Fort Lupton. You can make arrangements to go to the radio station in Johnstown as well. You can pick it up, and you don't have to pay any shipping. If you're like, I live too far, or I just, you know what, gas is expensive, I don't want to drive. You can drop a check in the mail. That price is locked in. It's not going to change. Silver can go up another $1 tomorrow. I don't care. You're locked in. We charge a flat $35 to ship. That's it. That's all there is. That's our big fee. If you want to pay with credit card, you can do that. We charge 2%. Again, I think I'm going to have to stop that soon because the fees just keep going higher and higher. It was one thing. We've been charging 2% on credit cards since they allowed us to charge different pricing. What was that, 4, 5, 6 years ago? The fees since they just keep getting. Matter of fact, I got another letter last week. Oh, we're raising fees again. But for right now, I'm holding it there. We charge 2% on a credit card. And like I said, these are live. You can come and get them today if you so desire. 800-951-0592. 0.592, and I guess silver still up 90 cents right now, 24.35. But Jason, the news today really, it started with the retailers. Really yesterday, Dick's was down 25%. Today, Foot Locker, Peloton, both down 30+%. But the whole theme in retail is the consumer. There's been a noticeable shift in spending. They're cutting down. They're shopping down, if you will. And then, of course, housing we know has been a soft spot. The mortgage association interest rates hit on a 30-year mortgage hit the highest levels since late 2000. And I tell everybody, my wife and I, we bought our first home was 2000. May of 2000, it was 7.25. Right now, for the first time since the interest rates on a new home are, I think yesterday they were over 7.5 in rising, plus you got points and everything else. And now the mortgage bankers are like, hey, that's it, man. Most Americans, they just can't afford the payment, Jason.
I think Foot Locker might be a really good indication of the market. I'm going to have to look it up and see, because I think for a while there you would do for inflation the burger. I think the burger analysis, Joe, on the air for years. I think that Foot Locker is a good one because lots of people even collect shoes, but a lot of people buy shoes because they want new shoes. They want different looking shoes, but you can only wear one pair. So if money gets tight, you talk about something you're not going to buy any of, you've always got a pair sitting around somewhere. Most people have way too many shoes. Not everybody, but a lot of people, Joe. So Foot Locker being down 30%, I think you said, that's significant. That's telling you that extra money is gone. It's flushed. It's nowhere to be found. And
it tells you, really what it tells you is, man, they weren't even close on their numbers, right? And this is the part that we worry about. We did get oil inventory reports. I'll say this: oil's down, mostly because China's in trouble, and now of course here at home, with mortgage rates where they're at, and now the consumer, at least on the retail side, this is kind of the first big sign where we've had these little signs. This is kind of a big one. When retailers across the board, because the last 10 days, last week, almost all the retailers are reporting their numbers. That's just generally how it works. And none of them have anything good to say. We'll see, are there going to be layoff announcements coming besides Dick's? My guess is yes. I think that's probably what we're going to see here. But the oil inventory reports this morning down 6 million more barrels. Cushing, Oklahoma, 3 million barrels light. And now the stocks in Cushing are at the lowest of the year. But crude oil, it's actually down like 40 cents right now. It was down almost $2 this morning. And then the inventory report came out and said, oh, crap, right? Crude oil prices, unfortunately, there's not a lot of room to the downside unless full-blown recession has arrived. Jason, that price is going to stay elevated for a long time. 6 million barrels down. That's huge.
We could see in this situation, Joe, where oil prices stabilize or still go down during a recession. Just the way the oil markets worldwide are being manipulated. Obviously, during a recession, you get demand destruction, but I could see oil prices not really drop a lot during this recession, Joe. I could even see them go up. I mean, just the way that these countries are reacting to the economic situation. It's kind of like anything's on the table, Joe.
Yeah, just remember, we got one line still open. Make that 2 lines open. The Silver Eagle sale here. Get in. I know everybody tries to buy the bottom. It's way too high. I can't do it. But today we made it easy, right? We got less than bottom pricing. Rolls 1 through 9, $5.85, 10 or more, 575. Got, the last 50 rolls or so left. 800-951-0592. Jason and I, we're coming right back. Zero 592 Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason here. We're down to the last of it. We started out. We had 5 cases yesterday. We started the morning. We had 90 rolls. We just have a little over 30 rolls remaining on the Silver Eagle. It's a sensational. And one of these things. We won't have more. That's just, it is what it is. It's kind of just, a fluke here. Silver now up 93 cents.
Well, and Joe, this is one of those prices. This is one of those prices where, because, we all know we have to pay a premium to get it. You guys have to pay a premium to buy it from us.
Yep.
This is one of those occasions where you buy it, and if silver's moving like it might move, we'll be buying it back from you at this price very quickly. So we can't always say that, right, Joe? We can't always say that. We don't know if silver's for sure going to break back straight upwards, but it won't be very long from now, anywhere in the future anyway. It doesn't matter. Silver's going to keep going up. Gold keeps going up as long as there's inflation. But it's very, very choice time to be buying Silver Eagles, Joe.
Yeah, and again, I think it is. Jason's right. It normally doesn't happen this way. If those cases hadn't walked in the door yesterday, right? Silver Eagle would be, 620, 625, something like that, 630 a roll. So $585, 1 through 9, 10 or more, 575, and we have them. We have them here. If you want to pick up today, we can make that happen for you. If you're brand new, the girls told me during the break, we've gotten several new customers. It's so easy. Just tell them that you want the special, and they're going to ask you how many you'd like. Listen, we're not like everybody else. We don't take phone numbers. We don't make cold calls. We don't bother you. You don't have to worry about, oh my God, it's the gold company again trying to sell me something. We don't do any of that. There's no bait and switch. We're not going to have you call and then tell you should buy something else. We just don't have to. Listen, we don't play any games. You don't play any games. And I think a lot of people really like it that way. 800-951-0592. The other thing that was out had to do with small business. And this is kind of, for us, I could care less, honestly, about Wall Street, really. These big mega corporations, right, that are designed, right, to try to figure out the way that we can pay people the least amount of money and still have enough people work for us. I mean, that's the goal, right? UPS just found out it's going to cost a lot more, right? American Airlines found out it's going to cost a lot, but that's their goal, right? The small business is the guy that, like, hey, I bet on myself, right? I'm betting on myself. I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to be out there. I'm going to try to provide a livelihood for me and my family and the people that work for me. They had the small business survey came out yesterday from the NFIB. More than half of small businesses in the U.S., the owners of these businesses, now believe the economy is already in recession. So, Jason, and again, this changed quickly. This is how it is. I always use that expression, right? How did you go bankrupt? Well, it was gradual at first, and then it was all of a sudden. Yep. And this is exactly what the NFIB is saying about the small business. Hey, you know what? It's been a struggle. Ever since COVID, it's been a struggle. Right? Can I open my business? Not open my business? How do I pay? How do I provide for people? Then it was, how do I get workers? How much do I have to pay? Wait a minute. I ordered things that used to be $10. Now they want $20. It used to be $100. Now they want $200. Right? It used to, hey, this pallet used to cost me $8,000. Now they want $20. Right? How do I manage my business? It was a real hard time. And now what they're saying is, in July, remember the storm. I told you it was the calm. They said that 58% of owners said that the economy was poor. Only 1% of small business owners said it was excellent. That's a big, big change. 9 reported good. So, okay, so that's 10% good or excellent. 32% said, well, it's okay. 58% said poor. And of that, 52 said, hey, it's a recession out there. So, Jason, this is the lifeblood, right? This is probably why we're seeing what we're seeing out of the retailers the last week and a half.
Yeah, and I don't ever trust the media because it's controlled, the message going out to everybody. How do we not? It could be much worse, Joe, than what we're being told. The numbers, I don't ever trust the numbers completely. You know, didn't we have a technical recession first 2 quarters of 2022? Who's to say we haven't been in a recession ever since? Just like I've been saying, a slow, grinding halt to people having any money to buy anything. And now all we've been reporting over the last few months is people that can't buy this, people can't buy that. Numbers are bad for retail. Numbers are bad for banking sector. Numbers are bad for commercial real estate. It's bad, 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 bad. So how do we know that somebody's putting a little fluff on how good it's been over the last year and a half? That's what it feels like. It feels like somebody's putting a lot of fluff on something that's really probably should be a little more panicky right now.
This week, and maybe later today, tomorrow, they're going to readjust the jobs numbers. And what I'm seeing is they're going to take away anywhere from 500,000 jobs to 750,000 jobs that they said were created. To Jason's point, right? The over fluffing of the economy. How much seasonal fluff did they put in? Hey, listen, we're going to be wrapping up the show. We got one segment left. Let's get these Silver Eagles taken care of. 1 through 9, 585, 10 or more, 575 at 800-951-0592. Eight 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour, Joe and Jason. You know what? I forgot. Oh, there's hardly any Silver Eagles left. There's only there's 2 lines open. The girls are on the phone with 3 other clients right now. I know that we're below 30 rolls, probably below 20 rolls. They may be completely gone, and I think, Phoenix doesn't even go on the. We're not even on the air in Phoenix for another 5 minutes, Jason. I forgot that when the clock changes, we're not on the air even in Phoenix, our other big market. So, they're going to be mad.
Oh, maybe you got to get more silver, huh? Get more silver on the air.
You know, I'll say this. I will say this, assuming that this is going to happen. We're not going to do this today. We have a full bag. This is 1,000 Morgan and Peace dollars. It's a mixed bag. You're going to get more than half of the bag is going to be Morgans. About, I don't know, I think 180, maybe 200 of the 1,000 are going to be pre-1921. Don't quote me on that, but it's a good amount. So there's a good amount of pre-1921 Morgans, 21 Morgans, and then Peace dollars. I'm talking about just our cost on a bag like this. When you figure in the pre-21s, then the Morgans, and then the Peace dollars, in just what we call circulated condition. Nothing fancy. Nothing fancy at all. They don't have holes. They're not bent. Okay, so they're not cold.
Yep.
Right? They're not
circulated,
completely worn flat. Right? They're circulated condition. Our combined blended cost would probably be, 31 $31 to $32, somewhere in that, say $31.50. Because the piece dollars are about 50 cents cheaper than the 21 Morgans, and then the pre-21s are really expensive. Then, of course, we'd have to make our money. Tell you what we're going to do, though. This one bag, you get 1,000 of them. It's the mix. You get all three, right? You get the piece, the pre-21 Morgans, and then, of course, the 1921 Morgans. $29,000 gets you the entire bag. That means you're getting the whole bag below what our cost would be. I can't even buy a circulated piece dollar for $29. Can't do it. Just can't do it. So you get the whole bag for $29,000 at 800-951-0592. I know that's not, you're like, wait a minute, that's not $585. You're right, it's a much bigger number. But if you're interested in the old dollars, right, this is it, right? The Morgans, 1878 to 1921, and really 1878 to 1904. Then they stopped making them, made a bunch of 21. The piece dollars, 1922 to 1935, and then they didn't make those anymore as well. So I guess
most of the piece dollars, Joe. Most of the piece dollars, I think, are 22s, so they're going to be common dates. But really, when it comes to these old dollars, this is a one-only item, so this really is a race to the phone. If you're considering it, there's probably somebody else considering it right now. So if you're like old dollars,
one bag and one bag only, $29,000 for that. Listen, thank you guys so much for supporting us. This is how it's supposed to work. God bless everybody. Listen, Jason and I, we're coming right back with a great half-empty cup.